Okay, you guys are gonna really geek about this one. Now, everybody has been actually questioning what is this misshapen Y at in Vampyre's name. Now, there's actually a pretty decent story behind that actually. Now, as it was recently announced, it was confirmed that the Y in Vampyr actually focuses on player choices and morality. Now, the Y in the game represents the moral choices of the main character, who, aka Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, he feels the need to heal people. However, with the nature of being a vampire, he feels the need to consume blood. The tagline in the game, as it says, "Take blood, save a life," plays on the excuse me, the moral duality of the game's story. Now, as it further reads that players will be able to traverse the streets of the earliest 20th century London and interact with a multitude of characters with their own identities and importance. The structure of gameplay is set around missions given to the player character by the citizens Reed interacts with. However, the player will constantly be reminded of Reed's need to drink blood. Players will also need to choose which characters will be his prey and which characters he will choose to spare. Reed can establish relationships with characters he meets for his feeding strategy and seduce them, change their daily habits, or make sure they end up alone in a dark street. Okay, that's actually a lot of pretty good detail. The next paragraph, it says killing a character means that the character cannot return and that the consequences of the game play into the environment, and that Reed inhabits. Feeding on human blood will not just keep Reed alive, but it will also unlock new vampiric abilities for the player to use. Vampyr also features combat occurs in real time. Combat varies from melee to ranged shooting mechanics and supernatural vampire moves. Enemy types in the game vary from human to vampire and other supernatural creatures. Reed will also encounter vampire hunters who will attack him with situation, weaponry, tools, and traps. So, that is pretty much not all of the gameplay explanation, because I'm going to save that for another episode. But, basically, if he feeds on somebody, he gains abilities. If he spares them, he can do what he wants with them later. It's basically like a scavenger. You pick off what you want. And in the terms of, as it said, you face more than just vampires and vampire hunters, I can only imagine that I can guarantee that, I don't really want to say it, but I guarantee werewolves or some other supernatural creatures will be involved in vampires somehow. Although I'm honestly not too big on that, I really hope that's not the case, because this whole werewolf versus vampire thing was long, long ago played out. But like I said, Vampire, I mean, we've only seen one section of introduction from the game, and that was only the title and the concept trailer that they revealed. And as for your you know, typical gameplay video or reveal trailer, thus far have nothing has come up. So, even with that being said, we still have plenty of time to think about what's going to come after. So, what do you guys think? You think Vampyre's gameplay is really as horrific as they say? Comment, subscribe, and feel free to ask any questions you may have.